A large portion of the Jewish nation has returned to its homeland, but the heart, soul, and mind of much of the Jewish nation are still in exile mode. This state of affairs must and will inevitably change. This is Torah Nation TV from Jerusalem, and we are speaking with the head of Machon Shilo, Rabbi David Bar-Hayim. Shalom, Rabbi Bar-Hayim.
Shalom.
Growing numbers of Jews flock each year to the town of Uman in Ukraine for Rosh Hashanah. Is this a legitimate practice, and can it be justified for a Jew to leave Eretz Israel in order to go there?
The first and most obvious reason for a Jew not to go to Uman on Rosh Hashanah, or at any time at all for that matter, is that the Torah does not instruct us to do so. In fact, the Torah instructs us to live in Eretz Israel, and of all days of the year, you would think on Rosh Hashanah a Jew would want to be, if he could be, in Eretz Israel. Another reason, also very important and fundamental, is the fact that taking a location, any location, Uman or anywhere else, in Chutz La'aretz, and claiming that a Jew must be in this place on Rosh Hashanah, or that there is a very great value according to the Torah for a Jew to be in this place on Rosh Hashanah, something which is entirely absent from the Torah, in the Tanakh, in the Mishnah, in the Talmud, in the works of all the Poskim. All these ideas are totally foreign and strange, and essentially this amounts to adding a new concept or a new miswah to the Torah. This, of course, is associated with another issue, and that is the claim of Breslev Chassidut in general, that Rabbi Nachman Breslev, who was without a doubt a very great spiritual mentor and thinker, and a very great Hasidic master, who did in the past and in the present day as well help many Jews to come closer to Hashem. Nevertheless, the claim that this person is somehow unique and the only way to approach Hashem properly and correctly is through the agency of this particular individual, this tzaddik, this is an idea which is very foreign to Judaism and frankly smacks of Christianity. Exactly as Christianity claims regarding Yeshua Notzri, that no one can approach Hashem except through their false Mashiach, known as Yeshua Notzri. The same is true for any such claim regarding any individual, whether it's Rabbi Nachman Breslev or anybody else, whether it's Rabbi Lubavitch or any other individual that any particular group wishes to promote. All such claims are a distortion of authentic Torah Judaism, and therefore they are to be discouraged, and in fact they should be suppressed. It is also very important that people understand that the reason that many people go to Uman particularly, and more generally the reason many people are attracted to Breslev is because it provides a form of escapism. Escapism from reality, from the difficult and disappointing aspects of this world, which undeniably exist. This kind of connection to this super tzaddik, with whose help you are above and beyond all manner of earthly troubles and worries, and essentially you are exempt from concerning yourself with the real issues which face the Jewish people, not to mention the real issues that face the individual himself and his family. This kind of approach is essentially a religious and, as it were, sanctioned form of escapism. But in fact it is not a sanctioned form of escapism, because there is no such thing as sanctioned escapism. Escapism is escapism. Whether it's drugs, or whether it's going to Uman, whether it's believing in a certain individual who died many years ago that he is the Mashiach, and insisting that this is the case. No matter how many times you repeat such statements, it doesn't make it any more true. No matter how many times a person goes to Uman, it doesn't make it any more correct. going to Uman is not part of the Torah. Rosh Hashanah and Uman have in fact nothing to do with each other. If Rabbi Nachman Mibreslov, who as I said was a very great Hasidic leader who cared much for his flock, suggested to his Hasidim that when I die and you are still here in the Ukraine, you should all gather at my graveside on Rosh Hashanah and daven together, that was probably a very reasonable and very positive piece of advice. It, without a doubt, led to unity and cohesion amongst his followers. It strengthened them spiritually in different ways, and I can certainly understand why he would have said such a thing. It also, on the other hand, seems entirely incredible that Rabbi Nachman Breslov, who himself in his writings mentions Eretz Yisrael very frequently, could possibly have imagined or intended that his followers should leave Eretz Yisrael in order to come to the Ukraine on Rosh Hashanah. This is something quite ludicrous, and it flies in the face of everything that Torah teaches us.
What does the Rav suggest to those Jews who feel that going to Uman is very spiritually uplifting for them?
As for those who claim that they feel they experience a great spiritual high when they go to Uman on Rosh Hashanah, I would say as follows. First of all, there is truth to the claim that in many shuls, in many places, the davening on Rosh Hashanah, and in fact one could add the davening throughout the year, is perhaps dull, dry, some would say boring, some would say uninspiring, and I would say they would be right. And this brief interview is not the time and the place to go into this entire subject in great detail. I would simply say that if a person, a Jew, is looking for spiritual upliftment, the first thing he should do is open Sefer Tehillim. If a person reads and understands Sefer Tehillim deeply, and one can do this by way of using all kinds of commentaries and books on the subject in any language that a person can understand, there is nothing more uplifting, there should be nothing more uplifting and conducive to connecting to Hashem than immersing oneself in the book of Tehillim. This is also why Tehillim forms a very central part of all of our tefillot, all of our prayers, as we know. Therefore, rather than look for some strange, foreign, and very, very dubious substitute, let us turn to the real McCoy, the true source of tefillah, which begins with Sefer Tehillim. As for choosing a minyan, a place to daven on Rosh Hashanah or any time during the year, which is more inspiring, more meaningful, well, that is something that it's perhaps time that many Jews begin to address. Certainly I can understand the claim, and I think many people either openly or at least in their heart of hearts would admit to this, that the tefillah of the Ashkenazim on Rosh Hashanah, which involves many piyutim, which are not at all required according to halakha, which are added onto, extraneous to the essential core of the tefillah, which results in a tefillah which is very lengthy and tiring. Not to mention the fact that many of these piyutim, many of the things that are said, are not very well understood by all people because of the language and what have you, even to some Hebrew speakers, many Hebrew speakers. Not all of the tefillah of Rosh Hashanah of the Ashkenazim is so straightforward. These are all valid issues, valid points, and they should be discussed. If people adopt the position, if Jews, laymen, rabbis adopt the position that that which was must continue to be so for all time, that this is what the Ashkenazim have been doing for some centuries, therefore we cannot change this format of Rosh Hashanah tefillah. If that's the position, well, frankly, no one can help them. No one can do anything to improve the lot of Jews who feel that there's something not quite right here. But if one adopts a system of tefillah, if one joins a community where the tefillah is based on the central core of the tefillah as instituted by Hazal and as described by the Gonim and the Rishonim, one finds that the tefillah on Rosh Hashanah is not so lengthy, not so tiring, not at all so difficult to follow, and it's in fact a very different experience altogether. Traveling to Uman, however, running away to Ukraine to escape the problems of Ashkenazi tefillah in Eretz Yisrael or in Chutz La'aretz for that matter, is not the answer. That is simply creating another problem.
Thank you, Rabbi Bar-Hayim. And a word to our viewers. If you would like to sponsor or dedicate a video interview with Rabbi Bar-Hayim in honor or memory of a loved one, or if you would like to obtain Berkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.